so no front. Candy and Gary, yeah, we say what you want. Real life, real stories, yeah, we keep it real. If you're looking for the truth, this is how it feel. Conversations that matter, yeah, we bringing it out. From the highs to the lows, yeah, we talking it out. No fluff.
All right, guys, if you like the content that we're putting out there and you want to follow us for more, go ahead and just like, subscribe, and follow. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can see our next episode coming up every Friday. You get to know and sit here with Real Talk, Candy and Garrett. Then on Sundays, if you also want to get to know a little bit about Amador County, check us out on Sundays. You can do the same thing, guys. All right.
That's right. Welcome back to Real Talk with Candy Thompson
And Garrett Gray.
So I hope you guys all had a good week. Did you have a good week?
Yeah, of course.
What did you do? Anything fun?
Just some training stuff for, the Association of Realtors, and you know about that.
That was actually really good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was.
So I did that this week. I mean, really, other than that, just trying to stay out of the heat. Getting a little warm.
Yeah, it is getting a little warm.
A little warm.
Yes, it is getting a little warm. It's funny though, because it was like 95 on like Tuesday and like 84 yesterday. Isn't that funny? So yes.
But I mean, also we live in the great state of California, to where our weather is not that bad, but we like to complain about it a little bit. So
well, and not only that, we have it like if you get into like Death Valley or like Nevada or Arizona, holy crap. Nevada being Las Vegas.
It's the desert, man. That's what it is.
So bad. And it gets to be like 120. God bless you for
Hot.
those that are there. And it cools down to like 105 overnight.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, but we're still having a pretty mild summer. Yeah. But it's when it gets hot, we're big babies because we haven't felt it yet.
Yeah, big baby. Someone was saying that it was like a European country, or like, Americans are privileged.
Yeah.
Because everything's comfort. Your food has to be at a certain temperature. It's comfort. Your house has to be at a certain temperature. Your comfort, right? Everything's comfort to us, right? First world problem.
First world problems.
Yeah.
First world 100%. I would not do well otherwise. I just wouldn't. I don't do really well. I mean, I was just at our salon and the air conditioning isn't working. Well, it's working, but the roofers put plastic over the top of my air conditioning unit. All of them on the building. Why they would
do something like that.
They're going to end up paying for all the air conditioners. That's how you blow out an air conditioner.
Well,
so
they don't like somebody, yeah.
It's awful. It was so hot in there, I almost passed out. So I'm still feeling a little flushed.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. That'd have been weird. I'm sitting here for like an hour.
I know. Well, I did. It was, we went to last weekend. We went to San Francisco because one of my girls is getting ready to work there.
God bless you for taking her down there.
I know. Adam wasn't feeling good, so I had to do it. It was the girls' trip, and so. But oh my gosh, talk about the weather when you get down there. Like you're bringing a sweatshirt.
Really?
Oh yeah. When you get down there, you're going to need a sweatshirt. Yeah. It's a little windy. It's a little chilly. It felt really good. But that was so. It was kind of interesting to learn about the San Francisco real estate market right now. I don't know of any other places that are really booming right now, like with AI. So we're talking to this guy. So we're looking at apartments. My daughter starts her job in a couple months, and like she's scared to death. Online, it's like an impossible feat for her to be able to get any kind of a job right now. Or, a rental.
And I would say yes, because that's where everybody's going right now. The consumer in the housing industry market that are buying, they're afraid of if they make that big commitment right now, because it would be a very big commitment.
Oh my gosh, huge.
You have high prices and you have an interest rate that's not the highest it's ever been, but with the price of the home, it's kind of a little high, and they're not moving. They haven't changed in the last couple months.
What, the housings?
No, the interest rates.
Oh no, interest rates aren't moving.
So it's like there's no change.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard for them to. So they go to option 2, rent.
So and there's a lot of rent control in the Bay Area. So you can't move into a place and then have your rent raised in a very large amount once you're in. So they start the rents high. So there was just news, people will have seen this on the news, that San Francisco 1-bedrooms just went to $4,000 a month. That's no joke. That's exactly what we're looking at.
That is insane.
It's exactly what we're looking at. And And M does it. She's making a really good salary. She's got a really good job. She just graduated with her master's degree. Like, she wants to live alone. She doesn't want to be she's been in a roommate situation for the last 5 years, right?
Oh, since she was born, actually.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to. I'm sorry, my phone is since what? Oh, yes, they were womb mates. They were womb mates then in the womb.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like she's had a roommate since she was born.
Yeah, she has. And they're like ready. She's ready to be by herself. And Erin's by herself and she loves it. So,
but she's also in
she's also paying like $1,900 a month.
There's a difference.
No, Erin's in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
So, Emily, we go down. She's been stressing out about this, but I mean, we still have like a month and a half to 2 months. So it's not crazy, right? So, but all the prices of everything that she's showing, mind you, she has her ideal of what she wants. I'm like, well, honey, that's like the end goal. That's not the beginning goal.
What does she
beginning.
Want?
Well,
what is her?
She wants to live in like, lots of windows, lots of space, beautiful, up on the hill, like, beautiful view. Yep, that's where you end. That's not where you start. So.
Right.
However, there's a lot of crazy places. It is, yeah. She'll get there, but like to start, like, but Mom, that's what I thought. That's what my plan was. Well, your plan might have to change just a tad. So we've been looking at these places. We've been down there a couple times now, as you know, looking at homes, and it's super fun. I love doing that. I mean, we're in real estate. We love looking at homes. That's why
we do it.
Yeah, and especially in San Francisco.
Are you that type of person that anywhere you go, you always pull up your phone and try to see what the housing market is around?
Adam always does. Wherever we're driving, he's got it looking up the house next to us. So we went into the first apartment that we were looking at, and it was an actual apartment. It was in the downtown area. She's going to be working in the financial district, so we realized downtown was not best for her because she's wants to walk her dog outside, and there is still a lot of homeless in the downtown area. So, but this building was really cool.
Why $4,000 a month? Who's gonna be able to afford that?
Crazy, and that's the lowest. Isn't that crazy?
Being homeless is free.
I know. No, it's not. You're paid in San Francisco. You are paid to be homeless.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
even better.
Yeah. So we look at this apartment, two different apartments. One was a studio, one was a 1-bedroom, super cute. Studio was $3,700 a month. Might have been 400 square feet.
God.
It had 2 windows that were this big on the very far end, 2 windows. And it didn't have its own bedroom, like the bedroom and living. It was it was super cute, but that wasn't it. It's $550 a month to park. It's 37, and no utilities are included in that. There's no utilities included in that. Yeah, that was, I was like, oh my gosh. So here we think, we've been helping our kids to get through college and to pay their bills and make sure that they're being able to afford living, right? And we're thinking she's taking all these bills over. No, she ain't taking all our bills over. She can barely afford the ones she's got there. And the girl's starting at close to $100,000 a year.
Ooh,
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, it was very interesting.
How do they do it, man? I don't understand people. I don't understand how. I mean, I get it. You have to live in the place in order to make the decent money, right? And I get the whole point. But just to be able to start out, I mean, that is just absurd.
Well, one thing, so first of all, it's San Francisco.
Right.
So everybody knows that. You don't have to live in the city. You can live on the outskirts. That was not well received by my daughter either.
I know a lot of people that travel into the Bay from Livermore
100%.
Like Brentwood.
Specifically for that reason. Yeah. But it's still high in their
they're still high there too. Yeah. I mean, well, shoot. There was like that in like San Jose area too. I mean, just so happens people are selling homes that we're living in for millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And coming up here and paying half the price for a way bigger piece of property and home.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, one thing that was super interesting was when the realtor got there, and he's not even he is a realtor, but he works for property management. So he's there to show. The reason Emily even got this showing, because you can't even barely get a phone call back. The reason she got this is because she's been really kind of getting in good with the property managers when she calls, even though there's nothing available. So there was a place that was rented and spoken for, and then the guy canceled out at the last minute. So this guy's really smart. He calls the people that were already in. When the property manager got there, he he was really cool. And, you know, listen, I do property management. So we're like, we're getting in really good with this guy. So he loves her so that she gets this place. He said he had already shown it in the morning and it was a super great place. It was in a really awesome neighborhood. It was only a 3-story, like little Victorian. It's on the 2nd story, which was kind of important to me. I mean, it's so cute. Like a brand new kitchen and like high ceilings. And it's just the tiniest place you've ever seen in your whole life. But
the tiniest place.
it is. But it's $34.99. And I'm like, this is the cheapest rent we've seen. Like, we're not going to get this again. And so I'm sorry, Garrett, my back, we're going to have to cut this out. My back is it just got a weird cramp. Okay. So it's like the cutest, it's the cheapest rent we're going to get. And so we
now, is this the place that also had the $500 parking too? Or
no,
okay.
No, actually you can park on the street on this one. Right across the street is a big church. So there's like, that's not going to interfere with your parking. There's laundry on the same floor as she's on, which it was, that other places don't even have laundry. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So all these extra things. So security was amazing, like the door and just, I mean, it just was really cute. I just felt comfortable with her there. And his mom, I haven't felt comfortable with any other place. So, while we were talking and establishing rapport with our new friend, he was explaining to us, like, he really wants to get into the real estate side of stuff because he's just been doing property management. And I said, oh, really? Like, and so I'm kind of curious, right? We ask questions like that, like, does the company that you work with do it? Like, can you do that? And he says, no, but he could do it he says he could do it as a freelance. So he could work for another broker and then as a freelance, he could do property management.
But I thought in California, in order to be a property manager of other people's properties, you had to have a broker's license.
Nope, you just have to work for a broker. But a sales agent can't work for 2 brokers. Anyway, that's
but that's what I'm trying to say is, if he wants to be an agent, why wouldn't he just talk to the broker that he's already working for?
Because they don't do sales. They just do rentals. So he'd have to go to work for another broker. And then he was saying he could freelance. And I was like, well, okay. Without getting into anything, I was like, okay. And so then he was talking about real estate. He said, right now, the AI boom is in San Francisco. And I didn't realize that.
I don't know why I didn't piece that together. Not even like the littlest bit.
No, so I was like, really? He said, everyone is moving to this area.
Really?
That's why rents went up to $4,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. And I mean, like, of all times, because 2 years ago, they were having to give away their places compared to what they used to because so many people left during COVID. Right. So all these places were empty. All this commercial space was
left that area
like
because
literally,
they were able to get somewhere cheaper.
They moved out of state.
Right.
Yeah. So he was saying, no, this is crazy. This is hard for us to even wrap our brains around. He was saying that homes are going for $1 million over asking. You're not just buying the home for $1 million or however many. You're offering $1 million over asking. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
So this was an example he gave. And I was like, if this doesn't tell all, I don't know. So this apparently was big news in the Bay Area. I did not hear about it, but it was like out of the norm down there. So it was all over. So apparently there was a family that lived in San Francisco, husband, wife, 3 kids. They were in massive financial ruins. And so the wife apparently killed her kids, killed the husband, and killed herself in the house. And that house just sold for $1 million over asking. 4 murders and a suicide in the house. And I was like, that's pretty much all you have to say on what's happening in this market.
Holy cow.
I could not believe it. Can you believe that? Mm-mm. So that was crazy to me. And I thought, oh gosh, that made me feel even better that Emily finally found a place. Well, she did get approved for it yesterday. Thank you, Jesus. But
now that's not the house she's moving into, right?
No,
okay.
no.
How would Mama feel about that?
Well, mom didn't pay $1 million over asking. I just wouldn't have done it there.
Paid over $1 million asking.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So it made me kind of curious about what's going on with the AI boom in San Francisco. So I started looking it up, and it's kind of interesting. So It said, I did not know that the world's leading AI companies are headquartered there. ChatGPT, that's OpenAI, right? It's there. Claude, which is Anthropic, it's in San Francisco. Scale AI, Databricks, and many fast-growing AI startups.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I did not know either. But it makes sense, though.
Yeah, it does.
San Francisco is known for having the biggest tech boom usually
booms,
happen there. And this is where we're in that world now of the AI. And if you're not getting a part of it.
That's right. Well, and part of the reason for that is that, Stanford and UC Berkeley are right there.
Right.
And they are among the world's leading AI research universities. So they're producing graduates and research that often becomes startups. So, and that's kind of what happened with the tech boom also. Like they were the ones creating the technology companies. And so I thought that was really interesting. Venture capital is nearby. So investors who fund AI companies are largely based in the Silicon Valley in San Francisco. Right. Startups can meet investors in person, which is really nice. That's what they want. And then companies want to be near each other. And that was interesting. AI founders often hire employees from other AI companies. They collaborate with researchers and they network constantly. So this cluster effect makes it attractive for new companies to locate nearby rather than elsewhere. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Because they're not competing next door to each other. It's online. I thought that was super interesting. And then also it said the pandemic created an opportunity because after COVID, San Francisco had so many vacant offices and lower commercial rents than the previous tech boom that AI companies just moved in. So it said, how is it affecting San Francisco? The boom is having visible effects. It's the office leasing has increased. AI firms are expanding. Luxury housing prices have surged because of high-paid AI workers. Restaurants, coffee shops, other downtown businesses are seeing more activity. That's exciting.
That's exciting.
The new mayor in San Francisco is making a difference. So it's starting to clean up. You're not seeing people, they're not being provided drugs on the street anymore.
How was it when driving down there?
It wasn't that bad. Well,
parts.
We went through the Tenderloin at one point in time, and that is the worst thing you've ever seen in your God-given life. You can't even get out of it quick enough. But other than that, and she's thankfully not near the Tenderloin, but other than that, it wasn't bad. There wasn't, when I started seeing the homeless and started seeing that area, I was like, this doesn't look very good. Then all of a sudden we realized we're in the Tenderloin, and that made sense. So outside of that area, it seemed pretty clean. I mean, this is going to sound awful, but for those of you that do not know, people in San Francisco were being provided drugs. They were being provided areas to go shoot up. They were allowed to defecate on the sidewalks. That's no joke. That is very serious. I didn't see it and I didn't smell it. You used to smell it. It was a beautiful city. Then the last 8 years, it kind of has gone to hell in a handbasket. But I want to say the last year we've seen major improvement pretty much since the Super Bowl was there. Wasn't the Super Bowl there? Is that what was there? The 49ers?
Yeah.
I think so. So,
And they did that whole cleanup before.
Yeah, they did. They did. And it's made a big difference.
But it wasn't
We've driven all over.
That put the Super Bowl, though.
They didn't play in the Super Bowl?
I don't think the 49ers played.
I don't know. It was
I
celebrate the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. That was your team. He was in a jersey. I celebrate the Super Bowl because it's the end of football. You know this. So I would have no idea who played. I celebrated the commercials. So that was super interesting. And then city tax revenues from business activity have improved because Facebook left. Google left. Didn't Google leave?
I don't think Google left.
Tesla left.
Yeah.
So many huge companies left San Francisco and went to Texas.
Well, I remember seeing the problem that we had with the commercial side of it, to where all these places were just being vacant and then no one was taking them over. So people were losing a ton of money because they didn't own those. Some of them didn't own those buildings. They were leasing those buildings. And now it's good that they're getting used again, but it's also providing people coming back to the area. Thank God. So it's going to grow. Well, it's good and yet also bad because it's just providing more crazy. I know. Right?
Well, yes and no. You're getting... the people buying these homes are people making $1 gazillion.
That's true.
In my opinion, when you can pay $1 million over asking,
how many zeros is a gazillion?
A gazillion zeros. Yes, it's a gazillion dollars, and I think that is a gazillion to me as far as I'm concerned. But really, really crazy. AI is still a huge opportunity for people right now, in case you haven't hit that bubble.
Yeah, and if you missed it out here in Amador County, not going to our little Canva class here, if you're not a part of Amador County Association of Realtors and you're a real estate agent in Amador County or surrounding areas, definitely be a part of it, because we just put on a kick butt program.
It was pretty awesome.
And Lisa's amazing.
Lisa is amazing.
But she talks about the AI, the integrated parts that Canva has, ChatGPT, Gronk, and how you
what's coming.
And honestly, yes, it was a Canva class, but it was more about a social media class and what you're able to use and utilize. And if you have the correct prompts with AI, oh my gosh, it makes stuff so much better. And there's been more and more that's been added to it that I can play with. So I see down there what the benefit is having them also kind of close.
True.
Surprising. I don't know why I didn't think of it like that, but
well, and this was interesting. So it's asking, like, is this a bubble? Is this a bubble that's going to burst?
Well,
right?
Okay, then it goes into the next factor. The last 10 to 20 years having the lowest birth rates and having the lowest incoming of young kids.
So crazy to me. Since 2007.
Well, then it goes into this too, right? So people are now getting married and they're having kids older, right? Only that, they're waiting to get married.
That's true.
So
and not having as
married,
many kids.
They're still going to be renting, because usually you don't start buying a home until you get married, right? Unless you're buying it single, which is fine. You can do that too. But a majority of the first-time home buying class have been married for at least 2 to 3 years.
It's true.
Right?
I'm so glad you brought this up too, though, because you guys, we just recently learned that there's actually a thing that's happening right now that during it wasn't the Great Recession, it was the last recession. Like they say 2007, 2008. Since that time period, so many fewer babies have been born.
But I know why.
Like today,
that lady made a really good point of why.
Why?
It gets expensive to have a family.
It does.
And they just took a means to an end, I guess. But that's
so
insane.
True. But that's crazy, because if you think about it, like right now, they're saying we have a shortage of 18-year-olds. And what an interesting thought process, like a shortage of 18-year-olds. So what does that look like? The military is going to have to prepare for less people coming in. Colleges are going to have to prepare for less enrollment.
The workforce, the laborers.
Yes, all the trades. One thing I thought was interesting was houses. Homes are going to be smaller because they're not going to need as big of homes. So home builders aren't going to be needing to build 3 and 4 bedroom homes. They're going to, isn't that so interesting?
It is. But and I think we talked about this before, is what I see more of what's happening is those homesteads are going to be started up again. Those ADUs are going to be they're already getting pretty big, but they're in a rental mindset, trying to get an extra income on your property. But now it's not going to be that way. It's going to be, where's my family going to live? It's going to get back to that small knit community building, developing, instead of it being, okay, let's go buy a subdivision and let's build 30 homes, right? That are all 2, 3, 4 bedroom homes for a big family to come start out in, or move to, or retire in.
Well, and that's what they're looking for. I mean, we do this. People are looking for 3+ bedrooms. I mean, this is what we deal with all the time, right? You can sell 2 bedrooms. 1 bedrooms are a little bit harder, even renting wise. It's a little bit harder. I have a 1 bedroom that's been on the market for a little while. It's getting a lot of activity right now, but we've rented out 10 to 15 3 and 4 bedrooms since that 1 bedroom's been on the market. So that's where we have been. But now it says it's called a demographic cliff. I thought that was so interesting. So the concern isn't just that there are fewer 18-year-olds. It's that the decline in births beginning around the Great Recession, so that was called the Great Recession, 2007 to 2008, creates a smaller generation moving through schools, colleges, and eventually the workforce in the next 15 to 20 years. Which
also goes into the counties getting funding per sales tax and property taxes. Right?
Well, and same with schools.
Yeah, it's
schools get paid per kid, right? So this is what it said. Since 2007, it's kind of just going like how many births. So in 2007, there were 4.32 million births in the U.S. 2025, 3.61 million births, but it's been decreasing. 2010, 3 years later, 4 million. 2015, 3.98. 2020, 3.61. 2025, 3.61.
Wow.
So it says roughly 700,000 fewer babies per year.
In small numbers here.
Yes.
What they say is per family, it's usually was average 2.1 births per mom. Average.
Okay.
It's at 1.6 now.
Wow.
Since 2007.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So this was interesting to me.
I don't know how you can have half a kid, but we got decimals in there somehow.
They always do.
They
always crack me up with that. So it says that 700,000 fewer babies per year that were born at the 2007 peak. So a decline of about 16%.
And we're also in that shift of the greatest wealth change with the silver tsunami of all these older people leaving and getting out and retiring, but no one's able to come in and take over those roles.
Isn't that crazy, right?
There's gonna be.
It's so interesting.
And then you got the prices of what everything is at nowadays. I mean, that's all gonna it's gonna be a major shift.
Right. Isn't it crazy?
When? How does the country facilitate that?
Right. Well, we're seeing it right now because the kids that were born in 2007 turned 18 in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So born in 2008, they're turning 18 in 2026, 2009. So right now is when we're seeing it. It just started last year. And I just thought that was such an interesting concept. So what happens over the next 15 years? There's definitely going to be some impacts in some major sectors. So it says colleges have already been experiencing what is called the enrollment cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Many smaller colleges are merging just simply because they can't keep up with the amount of kids that are coming in. The workforce, fewer adults are entering the workforce. There's increased competition which is interesting to me, among employers for the young workers. So the employers are now competing. They're going to have to attract them. They're going to have to do more to attract those young workers because they're competing for the young workers. Greater pressure to automate jobs, which AI probably happened right at the perfect time for something like this. And then the continued reliance on immigration to fill labor shortages. Housing, slower household formation, different housing demand with more emphasis on smaller homes, and then aging in place rather than large family homes in some regions.
That's what I'm saying is it's not going to be, all these people are going to be moving out of their family homes to get these compounds or smaller houses because that's what's going to be affordable, right, and then two, what's going to work together as the family because they're not going to need this big space anymore.
No, they're not. And it's so interesting to think there's a lot of really big homes that are built out there. So what's happening with those? Right? That's what I
Everything's
thought.
gotten bigger. Well, and then I think we're also getting to the thing that these younger kids, my age and down, I say we're not into these big things anymore. We want something small with big land, right? Or own this because we don't need these big monstrosities anymore. Now, I might be speaking for a very select few. I don't know. But me personally, I want a small and big land. I want big owning around, but I just want a small little tiny house. I don't need something huge, right?
I live in a fairly large house.
You also, but you're multifamily though.
I am.
You have your mom with you. Your kids were in and out. You guys were there, right? So, but that's what I think is going to start happening more and more and more. And it probably does.
I just put a house on the market, 1317 River Run Circle. Just went on the market and I own today for anybody caring to move out to California.
I heard there's a great real estate agent out there doing an open house Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 1 too, by the way. Just putting it out there.
So what's funny to me though is when I was walking through that house, I said to Adam, I could see us having something like this in the future. You know, we have a large house right now. But when we don't need to have that. But then you think then grandbabies are going to come and so we'll end up having a big house.
I think that's how my parents think about it too with the grandbabies and stuff. But I'm the only one that has the grandbabies right now. So
it's true.
Just one of those
Time
ways.
for sister to get on the track.
There's certain methods that need to happen first before that gets to there. Like maybe dating.
Oh yeah. Come on, Jordan.
We got to start at a point first.
That's hilarious.
I'd be interested to know. Up here in this county, any business owner right now, what are they doing to try to get their staff up? Right? Are they low on staffing right now? Are they looking to hire young, or is it more of a lot of the older people coming back because they can't afford, maybe because their retirements are low? Social Security is a big thing going on right now too. Like, what do you guys see in the business world of your hiring techniques? Are you guys looking for young people? Are you guys hiring old people, or how are you competing to make sure you are sought after to hire them, right?
Well, and this is actually a really great point for employers because I think that since COVID, we've just thought people aren't going to work, right?
Right.
So we're like, everywhere you go, there's we're having a shortage. We're having a staffing shortage. We're having but like, if people actually realize that the reason for your staffing shortage isn't because people aren't wanting to work, it's because there's fewer people to work. That's such a good point. Like, what are you going to do to attract these younger employees that you need to be able to operate your company?
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like mind blowing to me, that there's such a reduction in 18-year-olds, and will be. It hasn't ended. You can see that. Like, there wasn't a decrease from 2020 to 2025, but there wasn't an increase. So this is what economists are watching. So they're saying that the issue isn't unemployment, it's worker scarcity. That's it. Fewer workers. So baby boomers are retiring, and fewer young adults are replacing them. So that's crazy. So employers,
it's not the fact that they don't want to work. They just don't have enough to work.
There's just not enough.
But also,
they're not enough to replace right.
Yeah, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur or start an e-commerce, right?
This generation coming up is a little bit different. They like to work. They don't like to be handed anything. They they don't like AI. Mm-hmm. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah. Like, the Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they are a generation that they hate AI. They hate anything. It's a really funny thing. So, but they are hard workers. And so that's kind of a neat thing, because we did see the millennials. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, Garrett. But the millennials came in, and that was a rough one. And so now
we've been through every disaster that's ever happened in this world so far. The longest standing running war that has ever been documented. What do you want us to do?
Doing a great job. I usually show up to my jobs at 9:30.
Right.
Yeah. No, our job starts at 8. Yeah, just 9:30 is gonna work.
Well, that was back
me.
when, people, I guess, the jobs were open.
Not funny. So you guys, for a really funny thing, go on TikTok and watch millennial videos. It's hilarious. Where you watch millennial hiring videos, and you watch these older people, and it's hysterical, and it's very real. It's a very real thing. So, so they said persistent labor shortages are what employers may face. Rising wages in high demand occupations. So they're going to have to offer more in order to lure those people to them. Great. Increased investment in AI and automation, right? They're going to have, but I mean, that's the service industry can't do that, and then also greater competition to recruit young talent. So for those of you who are 18, get your education, because they're going to be competing for you. Right now, there's an overabundance. Like, they currently have a lot. I mean, if 2025 is, the 2007, it's those that are now 18. The shortage just started. So it's not there yet. So by the time 15 years goes by, we're going to see this play out. Isn't that interesting? So it says for someone in real estate.
At this time too, people are going to need to work multiple jobs, because that wage gap hasn't changed yet, right? The life, what the amount of money you need to live for what you're making, you're going to be working multiple jobs, but then yet you can't even get enough people to work the job. So is the business even going to be there? I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of curious what could potentially happen here.
So we're giving you a heads up. This is your heads up, and you might want to start making some plans here. I mean, it just started. If you already kind of can start automating some things, maybe figuring out how you can start attracting business. You know that if
implementing AI.
Yeah, if you're starting to be the one to do it, then everybody's catching up later. You're already attracting these employees. So it was interesting to say, for someone in real estate, this trend is especially relevant. Over the next decade, communities with growing populations through migration may continue to outperform areas that rely primarily on local births. So
Amador County.
Exactly. That is totally us.
Straight us.
Housing demand will increasingly be shaped by migration patterns and an aging population, rather than by large numbers of first-time homebuyers born in locally.
Nobody comes here and becomes first-time homebuyers unless they lived here.
So, right? And can you imagine that now, though?
Retirement deal.
So
that's the thing, though, too. We're going to get all the retirement, but we're not getting people for the workforce, though. That's the thing.
And that's what it's saying, is it's going to hit. I mean, unless there's a reason for people to migrate into our area, that is ultimately what's going to happen. Is it's going to be that it's not going to be a lot of new home buyers. It's going to be people upsizing and downsizing. But so this reminds me.
So if you're a developer right now, and if you want to try to get in some development, stop building
Right
big
now.
houses.
That's right.
Build smaller homes.
That's
and
exactly
be ready for
right.
the pump.
Be
I'm just
ready.
thinking it's
Yes.
a smart. You could probably put 2 homes on each plot that's ever
1
made.
million%.
Let's talk about the Ponderosa Bluffs for an example, right?
Yeah.
You go put 2 homes on each pad that's built there.
Yep.
And sell it out. You're doubling your money, and you're probably
Yes,
going to have a higher
absolutely.
clientele move into that area as a
Right.
consumer because they're not looking for big family.
Well, and think of like
establishments.
townhomes. Townhomes are a smart move right now because you're going to be able to do, 2 bedrooms upstairs, 1 bath, 1 down, have 2 on 1. So you're going to generate the income that you want for 4 bedroom.
Right.
What would it be? 4 bedroom, 2 baths, or 3 basically.
3, yeah.
2 and 1/2 each. So that you will be able to still generate the income that you're looking for on 1 parcel instead of that one being 3 or 4 bedrooms and you can't rent it out or you can't sell it because who's buying those big of places? So that might be an interesting go, I think. And then, it's just going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But
I'm interested.
You probably heard it here first. I'm just saying.
If you're a business owner, put down on the bottom what you're doing to make sure that you're competing with the hiring issue that's potentially about to happen. Right? What's going to make you guys stand out?
The worker scarcity.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this? Let us know if you're aware of it. Let us know what you've heard. This is interesting to me. So we wanted to share this with you. Also, the housing situation, the AI thing going on in San Francisco, super interesting. So we are.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
I know it's gonna be an interesting go. I mean, and what they're saying about the AI is it's not a bubble. It's a technology shift. So this isn't like a bubble that's going to burst and oh yeah, that was a fad. It's gone. No, this is a technology shift.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is going to be an interesting go. There's going to be fewer workers. There's going to be companies are going to actually be having to compete for the workers. And we're going to see how that goes.
And what's in your hiring package?
That's right. Yes. Anyway, thank you guys. Hey, please make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing, and following. It's very important for you to not just watch us. We love that you watch us, but also for our algorithm, they look for followers, likers.
If you like this content, show the support. Doesn't cost nothing to like, subscribe,
button
and follow
right
for
down
notifications.
there.
All right, guys.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. The views and opinions expressed on Real Talk with Candy and Garrett are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Real Talk with Candy and Garrett, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Divine Properties, their affiliates, sponsors, advertisers, or any organizations discussed on this program. This podcast is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, financial, tax, real estate, medical, or professional advice. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no representations or warranties regarding its completeness or reliability. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that Real Talk with Candy and Garrett, Candy Thompson, Garrett Gray, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Divine Properties, their affiliates, guests, sponsors, advertisers, and all associated parties shall not be held liable for any actions, decisions, losses, damages, claims, or consequences arising from the use of or reliance upon any content presented in this podcast.